time I've noticed those where the bricks are out on that lock side.
This is Hurlston Junction. As you well know, you've seen it before on our vlogs many a time. Well, we've had a quick stop, or a quick pit stop if you like, for a pump out at, here at Nantwich, and as you can see, it's a glorious day. Look at that, nary a cloud in the sky. In fact, I don't think there is any. But we've got this beautiful Cheshire scenery around us, and we're just making the most of it. It's cold, the wind is cold, we're wrapped up, so is the lookout in his usual post. So we'll see how we're enjoying the cruise so far. It's just nice to be on the move again. Excuse us squinting, we're both staring at the sun.
Yeah.
But we've escaped again.
Yeah.
Go on.
It's good to be out, isn't it, Master Robin?
For those of you that don't know, that's a reference to a film, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
It's hilarious.
It's a hilarious film. If those of you that have seen it will fully understand that quip. No, we've had 2 weeks in Tattenhall Marina now. We went in for a pump out and got frozen in. And then of course we've had 2 storms in the UK, Storm Isha and Storm Jocelyn, and today is really the first day that the winds have abated.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's lovely weather.
We've got 2 weeks roughly before we have to go down to Birmingham for the Boat Life show, which we mentioned the other day that we were going to be attending. And so we thought we'd come out for a mini cruise, as all our cruises are mini cruises at the moment.
They are recently.
So there you are. We're out on the cut, familiar ground. We're not videoing the whole trip down to Calverley or wherever we end up today, because we've done this stretch hundreds of times. And if you look behind me, you'll recognise it. It's what we call Windy Mile, or the Straight Mile, just as we come out of Tattenhall Marina, and the boat in the distance there, that's a new friend of ours called Ian. He's a single-hander, and I'm a little bit concerned about him today because only 5 weeks ago he had a hip operation.
He's doing very well.
And he's doing really well, and he was adamant he was going to come down to the Shady Oak with us, as far as the Shady Oak, to try out.
He wants to try a lockout, doesn't he?
He's never done a lock. He's new to boating. He's spent most of his time in the marina, and last night I thought maybe it might have been the beer talking because we were in the bar, but obviously it wasn't. And he's joining us for the cruise today, so we'll see how we get on. As I say, I'm not going to film the trip because you'll have seen this stretch in our vlogs now, I don't know how many times, so we'll see how we get on though. We set off from Tattenhall Marina and cruised through Walton's Lock, Iron Lock, Stone Lock, Tilston Lock, and eventually the Bunbury Staircase, before stopping a few days at the Calverley visitor moorings. We then continued the cruise past Barberry's Junction, Hurlston Junction, before finally mooring up at the visitor moorings opposite the services in Nantwich.
It's doing windy like this. Smudge is enjoying himself. So he's having a lovely run around.
Windy miller, sharper than a thorn.
This is Tilston Lock, and that's really before the paddles opened. A lovely waterfall effect. Bubbles in the water. It always does that at this lock when the lock is nearly full. Yeah. Well, we're coming out the Bunbury Staircase now. So I've just opened the paddle to fill this top lock. There's the top lock full and bottom lock empty. So, So while that's filling, I'll go down and open the bottom gate so that Steve can come in the bottom there, because that one is empty. Although, looks like if that paddle's open, I'll go and check that. In the bottom lock. Now let's walk over to get Smudge. There he is, sitting under the gate. There we go. I'll let you off now. That's it. Top log is now full. So I'll go and close the paddle. And then let all this water down into the lock where Steve is. And then do it all again. Here we go. It's the first time I've noticed those where the bricks are out on that lock side. It must be like a bywash type thing. This side the wall leaks, as well as the gate. And where that one's now emptied into this one, we've got another waterfall. And there's Steve on the back waiting patiently for the water to come up to the correct level. Bunbury staircase locks. It's quite pretty. Lovely cottage over there. Anglo-Welsh boats are moored up the other side. And then a little community there. And obviously the lock cottage and the stables.
Well, good morning everybody. We've had a couple of nights moored up at the Calverley visitor moorings, and we're now currently at the Calverley services, which is just behind me here, and we are now filling with water, just topping the tank up while we can. But again, it's pretty breezy today, and that wind's got quite a bite to it, but we've been having some fun and games while we're doing it. Because I don't know if you can see it down there. Chris dropped the hose and got soaked while it was filling with water, and bless him, poor old Smudge's mat that he stands on while he's on the hatch went for a swim. It blew off in the wind. So we're not having a very good day of it this morning. Let's hope it's not a sign of things to come. But as you can appreciate, it's a very grey, overcast day, but it's not forecast to rain, so fingers crossed. And it's only a short cruise today, so we'll see how we get on. Down to Nantwich today. Well, the cratch looks a little bit untidy at the moment because we've just taken on a load of coal, some kindling, and we tried to use that hose, but it kept popping off. So we'll have to try and find out why that is. And there we go. And bless him, poor old Smudge. You don't like this cold weather, do you, boy? You're a fair weather dog. But he's sitting there waiting for mummy. And what have you got there?
I've got a bit of kindling that was in your boot.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't know where that's from.
That's probably from the kindling box. There's a very handy Texaco garage along this stretch just past Calverley, and they've got the little general stores in there, so if you're really desperate, it's not a bad little place to stop here, and you can get your supplies if you need them And of course you can get diesel too, which is quite handy. We're now making our approach into Barbridge. Barbridge Junction is just ahead, but the sun is starting to come out, the sky is slowly clearing, so hopefully the weather will be quite good for us. Now Chris is getting the tape measure out, and you may be wondering, what on earth is Chris doing measuring up? No, I'm not ready, and Smudge doesn't like tape measures, by the way. I'm not ready for me coughing yet, don't worry. We've promised a couple who own a 9-foot wide beam to measure the bridge hole at Nantwich by the services, because they're not sure they can get through it, and I apologise for Smudge barking, but there you go. Been doing a lot of work in this garden. Just look at that, it looks lovely, doesn't it? Apart from the pallets, of course, but that's obviously where they've had their paving slabs on. Through Barbridge now, and we're starting to move on down towards Hurlston, and clearly somebody's been doing some winter works. They've cut all the trees down, done a lot of clearing, obviously planning to use his observation whatever it's called, observatory, that's it, that's the word I'm looking for. The trees must have been getting in the way. Don't know if you can see that.
Through the trees.
Don't know if you can see through the trees, but there's some beautiful scenery the other side of them. And we don't often see that coming along here, because with the leaves on the trees you can't see through. But now it's winter, of course. You can actually see, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, I can see you up there. He's Smudge doesn't like winter cruising. He's not very happy about the cold weather, I don't think. Oh, it's lovely and bright this morning. You may be wondering why we're doing the same stretch of canal all the time. We've been up and down through here several times, and I was asked the question, do you ever get fed up cruising the same canal? No. And the answer is no, because we do it in the summer, we do it in the spring, autumn, and now winter. And it always looks totally different, depending on the season. And the other reason is because of the restrictions, because of closures and maintenance stoppages, you are restricted to some extent as to how far you can travel. So we chose to stay up this way, A, because of our daughter's wedding last year, but also Tattenhall Marina is quite convenient for us to be with our two daughters, or near to them. And at the moment here, this time of year, and we're currently in February, end of January, we've got the Boat Life show in Birmingham at the NEC in a couple of weeks. So we don't really want to go travelling too far, because we don't like leaving AmyJo out on the canal when we're not with her. We don't mind leaving her overnight, but when it's 3-4 days,
to be safe.
We prefer her to be safe in a marina, and of course this time of year, being the winter, the marinas are chock-a-block. They're full up, and it's almost impossible to get a mooring in the marinas. And Tattenhall is at sort of the dead end of the Chester Canal, so they tend to have vacancies there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the marina. Absolutely nothing wrong with Tattenhall. It's a lovely marina. It's just that it's the only one around here that has free moorings available. So, and by free I mean vacant, not free as in cost free.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
That would be absolutely super.
And because the boat's so long, there are spaces in other marinas,
Yeah,
but not for our length of boat.
Chris is I'm getting the shakes. As Chris is saying, the problem is AmyJo being 67 feet, we have to moor on a 70-foot mooring, and marinas don't have loads of 70-foot moorings. They have plenty of 60-foot for 57-foot long boats, etc., but not for us. So that's why we're cruising up and down the same stretch of canals at this time of year. So once again, we're back at the start of the Llangollen Canal. This is Hurlston Junction. As you well know, you've seen it before on our vlogs many a time. And through there, the reservoir, which is the sole purpose of the Llangollen Canal, is to feed the reservoir. Well, we've had a quick stop, or a quick pit stop if you like, for a pump out at, here at Nantwich, and I can thoroughly recommend having a pump out here. John did a thorough job for us, and our pump out tank now is bone dry. He's almost sucked the insides of the tank out, so that was good. We've had a thorough pump out. Now to find a mooring. Well, there we are. We found ourselves the perfect mooring here at Nantwich. We've got the sun off on our starboard side, or right hand side there, so the solar panels are soaking up every bit of sun they can, and the town is that away, just up ahead. So I think we'll be good here for the next few days. It's been a lovely cruise. The weather's turned nice as we've carried on, and I think that's going to do us for today. We'll catch you later. Well, that's it for this one. Thanks very much for watching, and if you like our vlogs, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want future notifications of our future vlogs. Take care, be safe, and we'll see you next time on Life on Board AmyJo.